all sports, all plays.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Horseshoe Talk, Indianapolis Colts show. We'll talk a little bit about last week's disappointing tie. I don't think that's how anybody thought we'd open the season now with a tie. But I guess it's better than a loss. We've lost the last 8 openers. So, and then we'll take a look at this weekend's big game against the Jags, a team that the Colts have struggled against here recently. Joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez, like normal. How's it going?
We're going pretty good. Looking forward to the game. I mean, I know what we wanted last week. We both thought they were going to win probably by 10 points or more, and it happened. So,
Yeah, I was surprised. Never did I think it was going to be a tie.
I thought we would win the game. I think we got a better team than the Texans, definitely. But, it didn't play out. So we definitely need to get a victory here against Jacksonville. Big game, division game. Definitely need to get a victory here against Jacksonville. Big game.
Yeah.
Division game.
Yeah, they definitely need to play better. Sounds all right.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so.
No, hey, how's it going, Glenn? Glad to have you on here. Just had two 10-hour days of mock trial stuff. So, hey, you've been sounds like you've been busy. Um, no, I was disappointed in that loss because I mean, we played good enough to win the game. We just made stupid mistakes, dropped two touchdown passes that killed us,
Yeah,
especially that first one. But I mean, even the other one should have been caught. But that and then now this weekend, we're already short. We're already hurting that receiver, and the rookie that Pierce, he's out this weekend, uh, which I hate for him because he had a bad week. He had a bad first game
yeah.
last week, and they've been good. I think it'd been good for him to get out there and maybe try to have a bounce back game.
Think it's starting to play first.
Either that Straycon or however you
Sure.
pronounce the name, and or maybe that Doolin.
Yeah, Doolin
That
plays a lot.
Doolin's made some pretty good plays. I'd say probably one of them. Uh, Pittman had a good game,
Yep.
but the problem is teams are going to start keying on Pittman. I think Mo Alley Cox is going to have to step up and have a little bit more of an impact.
They get more out of her tight end. I agree. So I know there was a lot of negatives, but I mean, really, our defense played pretty well. I mean, they didn't play very good the third quarter, but I mean, we only give up 20 points and give them probably.
They scored most of our points off our turnovers.
Yeah. So I mean, really, our defense didn't play that bad. We played real good the fourth quarter and overtime. I thought they played real well. We gave them the ball there at the end of the fourth quarter with the terrible kicking, gave them the ball to the 40-yard line. We held them and held them in overtime because he kicked it out of bounds again. Uh, Before he missed the field goal, so our special teams kicking game was very good. Our punter did a pretty good job. We had we almost had a misfortune there on a I think it was a punt. Yeah, we fumbled it, but luckily we
Yeah.
got it back. So our special teams got to play better. But I thought our defense played pretty well, all things considered. Offense got a little stagnant. We had some problems. Running game was good. We got to do more receiving.
Yeah, and I mean Matt Ryan didn't play bad. He had trouble handling a few snaps.
Yeah, we had some problems with the snaps. That one interception was just more of a great play by the defender than anything.
If we got it over that defender, it was going to be a touchdown.
It had been a lot of yards because the play was set up nice, but that defender he got off the offensive tackle, got off of him, and made a great play because he was engaged with him when he went through the ball. So he thought he had open lane.
One thing I do think that where the Colts went wrong is and you really can't even say that. I was going to say Matt Ryan throwing the ball 50 times. You would say, but I mean, you would say that was a lot and that they needed to run the ball more. But Jonathan Taylor got 31 carries, so
we got a lot of snaps. We played. You got to remember, we played overtime, played extra quarter, played 5 quarters, and actionality. So
I mean, Ryan threw for 352 yards, but only one touchdown, and of course he had that one interception. Like you said, just the third quarter defense didn't play real great. We gave him most of the points, and all the points was in the second quarter and in the third quarter, and that was all. And most of it was off the turnovers. And then not just the turnovers. Like I said, you dropped two passes in the end zone that should have been clear cut touchdown.
should have won. I mean,
and now you're going into another division game. And this game, I mean, I hate to say it's a must-win game, being the second game of the season, but it's an important game because you don't want to start the season out with a tie and a loss in your division. That could really put you behind the 8 ball.
Getting that win last week would have been nice, especially with Tennessee getting a surprise loss. I think most people would say surprise loss against the Giants.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I mean, we're the only team in our division without a loss.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy how that worked out. Nobody in the division got a win. Especially with two teams playing each other in the division, you thought at least one team was going to get a win. I don't know. And then against the Jags, I mean, this is a team that we've struggled with. Not just like, they beat us last year to end our season and our playoff hopes, but that's not the only time we've struggled against the Jags. I mean, especially in Jacksonville. We've had a tough time going to Jacksonville and coming out with a win. And I know Jacksonville, yeah, hasn't looked the greatest, but I think they're better this year than they were last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
And if Colts don't play better than they did last week, I think it's going to be it's going to be a close game. I'm hoping we can get our offense going, get some touchdowns, and maybe get some momentum going because we just couldn't get no momentum in that game. It seemed like.
Well, good fourth
Yeah,
quarter score.
finally, finally in the fourth quarter, we got that defense got that big turnover. I think that's people are overlooking our defense. Like Jay off the other network earlier or the other day was trying to say that our defense was middle of the road or worse, wasn't a very good defense. I'm thinking, no, dude, we got a pretty good defense. You got to remember, we were missing arguably, but maybe our best player on the defense. We're going to be missing him again this week, unfortunately. I was worried about that when he had that back procedure done during the off season when he was going to be able to get him back. I think he'll be back maybe next week. They took him off the PUP list. I think they're just being cautious, making sure that he's 100% ready. Maybe getting him in some reps at practice, getting him back in the shape a little bit.
Got to be ready for this game because, in my opinion, how you feel, but I think Jacksonville on paper is a better team than Texas. I mean, I think they got a better receiving core,
Yeah,
a better running game. I think they have I would say, a better quarterback. I mean, talent-wise, I mean, I think Mills is doing a good job. I'm not putting Mills down. But I think overall talent, I think Jacksonville's quarterback's a better talent. So Jacksonville's defense probably not. I don't know. I think Jacksonville's defense is probably better than Texas, but Jacksonville's defense didn't play real great last year.
well, and then I'm looking here at the injury report, and like I said, Pierce is out, and of course Leonard's out. Then you have Michael Pittman Jr. is questionable. We need him to play bad because
I would think
we're already hurting. Then Kenny Moore, our cornerback, he's questionable, and then DeForest Buckner's questionable. We need him on the defense, especially without having Leonard. We can't afford not to have Buckner out there to help stop that run because we've seen what our run defense looks like when he's not on the field. Last year, when he went on the field last year, our run defense was terrible, especially at the middle. I mean, the Colts had 529 yards last week of total offense and lost. Not lost, tied. Jacksonville last week had 398 yards. They had 275 passing. They had 123 on the ground. Colts had 352 passing to 177 on the ground. Colts gave up 240 yards passing last week. As in the
that's the thing we said. Step up our receiving, but 77 yards and passing, not bad. That we also, like I said, touchdown passes. We have yards all over the place. We don't put the ball in the end zone.
I mean, and when I say touchdown passes, it's not like they were contested, like there was tightly defended passes that would have been tough catch. Especially that first one, there wasn't nobody 5 to 10 yards around them. I mean, he was wide open.
Well, even Doolin, I know he had to jump up.
Yeah, but there wasn't nobody.
Hit him right
there wasn't nobody around him to knock the ball out or nothing like that. It was just, I don't know if it's loss of concentration or maybe with the rookie, maybe nerves or what. But I mean, them are just catches in the NFL you have to make. You don't convert them plays. That's how you tie somebody or you lose a game.
Actually, Pierce had another drop and he ended up getting a penalty on it, so we got the ball moved up anyway. But he dropped that ball too, and it was right there. But I think he'll come back strong. Hopefully, he's not hurt too bad. Get back. I wish he could get back on the field this week. I think for the better.
They have the Colts as slight favorites in the game, and Colts really they're going to have to. Somebody's going to have to step up. And Frank Reich, some of the decisions he made last week just didn't make sense. Like early in the game, not taking the points and let's go and going for it. Or I don't know. It's just sometimes it seems like he's looking at the game in the eyes of an offensive coordinator instead of the head coach.
And momentum changing the game. You kick that field goal. Difference in the game.
Well, after the way the game went, who knows if way the game Rodrigo had, who knows if he'd have hit the damn field goal. I mean, I don't know what happened to Blankenship, man. His rookie year, he had a hell of a year for us. Looked like we found us another field goal kicker to replace Vinatieri. And then this year, and then you heard reports in the offseason that at the camp that he was battling for his job.
Yeah. I've heard McLaughlin's going to be the guy, but I haven't heard officially.
And, you know what I mean? And, he was battling for his job, and then he comes out in game one, and that's the worst I've ever seen him kick the ball. And it wasn't just field goals. I mean, like you said earlier, he kicked 2 balls out of bounds on kickoffs. And you can't have that. I mean,
and also
especially in overtime,
anytime,
you can't have that.
At the end of the fourth
Yeah.
quarter, towards the end of the game, and then in overtime, first play overtime.
Defense done a great job them 2 series to not give up any points.
And all the other times, put out the end zone. I don't know what they were trying to do. I just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, you can't have those kind of mistakes. That's kind of funny. Matt Ryan during that game, he completed a pass that took him over 60,000 yards. And when it went in the Hall of Fame, the serial number on the football was 283.
283, yeah. 183, yeah. Back to that New England.
They say that's it says unintentional. There's no, I don't believe that's unintentional. So, somebody done that had to do that on purpose. How you know what I mean? You think it's unintentional?
I want to bring up something. How you feel? I got a feeling you're gonna feel the same way that I do. Uh, Especially after, it's easy to say after hindsight's 2020, but I do not understand why the coach did not go after Lou.
Oh, I don't understand it
You see
either.
how Julio looked the other night with Tampa Bay. He was probably the main. I know some players got hurt, but he was probably one of the main targets.
Yeah,
and looked great. And I don't understand. I know he went to Tennessee and it didn't work out. Okay, I understand. But he had a relationship with Matt Ryan. Why? And it wasn't a lot of money. He's not getting paid a lot of money. Why didn't they bring that veteran in here? Give Pittman some help.
yeah,
I don't understand. I mean, I understand uh, having some young receivers, but
yeah, I don't understand it either.
I did see he's on the injury report with a knee. Questionable. I don't know how bad.
That could be the only reason I could think of is because last year he missed a lot of times of injuries, and maybe they were scared of that. But you're not when it wasn't going to cost you a whole lot of money. The experience that he's had with Matt Ryan,
Yeah, that will cost him a lot of money.
I think it's worth the chance.
Yeah, because you're going to have the young receivers there anyway.
Yeah. But and I hate to say it, if you weren't going to get Julio, go with OBJ, somebody. I mean, there's guys out there. I would have liked to see him went after Landry when he if he was since he became available.
I thought Julio was
Julio. I thought would be perfect because
the connection with Ryan and the value. Because it wasn't going to be a lot of money; it was going to be a great value.
And I think you can get OBJ for not a whole lot of money too, just because you know what I mean. And I think at this point of his career, I think he'd be he could really help us. But I mean, he went to the Rams and he really didn't have to cause no trouble or nothing there. You know what I mean? It seemed like he bought in and not being that number one. And if we had somebody like him on the other side of Pittman, that's really going to help.
I think they closed the door on Hilton. I guess there's a sign now. Big sign out banner out there at the stadium. Hilton, and thanks for the memory. So evidently they've closed it.
And so I didn't understand that either. If you wasn't going to make a move, why not bring Hilton back? You could have brought him back on a cheap deal.
I don't know because I think Hilton won at least $7 million. So I think that's why he's not somewhere else.
That's what I'm going to say. If nobody else is offering the money, you might have been able to give him.
But I think we got Julio cheap.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you wouldn't go get Julio, if you weren't going to bring anybody else, Hilton the last 2 years hasn't
been more injured. Than
the last 2 years. Hilton's been pretty much non-existent for the Colts. To be honest, and I like Hilton.
Oh yeah, great receiver.
The last 2 years he's been hurt. 1 year with Rivers, he was hurt most of the year, and last year he didn't play much last year. Yeah, I don't understand why and all you heard over the offseason was you would hear how the Colts really like their young receiving core, and they kept talking it up, and It wasn't real impressive the first game. I mean, yeah, he threw for quite a few yards, but like we said, it was key situations where you got to make those key plays to win
You can
games.
throw for 600 yards. If you don't put points on the board,
And yeah, we left a lot. We left possibly 17 points on the board.
definitely.
And I mean, I still in that interception. I think that would have been might have been a touchdown too because there wasn't nobody on that side of the field.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's another good. Damien, that's another guy that I thought they might go after. Would have been that Allen Robinson from Chicago. I thought they might have went after him when he came available, but 'cause I think he's a pretty good receiver.
Have you heard? And I didn't see it. A guy that I work with
How's it going, Mike Hughes?
said that there's been reports already, and you may have heard it, about a story about the Rams quarterback. There's some claims that he only wants to throw to white people.
Huh.
Throws the cup, and I guess they've already said it. I heard it coming from Robinson.
I I hadn't seen that yet.
I didn't see it, but a guy that I work with, and
Hey, Mike, hey, Robinson is better than what we have right now. Our Colts receiver core is looking rough.
Schuster didn't have very good night.
Mike said Trubisky made Robinson. Hey, I think I agree in a way because I think Trubisky's a lot. I think Trubisky's better than what people give him credit for, and I think he's going to do pretty good there in Pittsburgh. But no, I haven't. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, that's what a guy at work told me, and I respect the guy. He just don't come up with stuff. But he, I don't know where the reports all came from. Um, I don't know if Woods was unhappy. I know Woods was unhappy there, so I don't know. Was Woods just unhappy because he didn't get the ball enough? Was Woods unhappy there because he didn't get the ball enough? He thought.
Might have, or he might have got more money.
Yeah, I'm sure money was some of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point, Mike. Uh, he said, man, I'm going to tell you what Matthew Stafford threw to Calvin Johnson at the elite level. So he's definitely not racist. I mean,
No.
yeah.
What a guy told me, he said he seen or heard, and I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I hadn't seen no reports about it, but it don't make no sense because last year in the Super Bowl, he was throwing OBJ was one of his big, you know what I mean, was one of his biggest targets in that Super Bowl. OBJ made a big impact in that game. Don't get me wrong, he does throw the cup, but hey, I think he throws a couple a lot because cup was good.
Cup don't drop the ball.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you thought told me you won't catch it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. I'll have to look into
Yeah,
that.
look into that because I know you guys had. So I don't know where the story came from, but the guy, like I said, the guy don't make up rumors. So he heard it somewhere because the guy's a pretty good guy, and I respect him. So he asked me, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "No."
Huh. No, I hadn't heard it. And it could be just that Robinson was mad that he wasn't involved in the.
No, Schuster didn't have a very good game against either. I don't know how he did his first game, but the second game was not a very good game.
Social media. This is what I'm reading here. It says social media was accusing Matthew Stafford of being racist. Says social media accusing Matthew Stafford of being racist for not throwing to his open black receivers versus Bills. So I guess somebody else. From what I'm reading here,
That must have been what he.
from what I'm reading here, it was something. It was somebody probably on Twitter or something. Yeah, saying that he was racist because he's not throwing to his open black wide receiver. So that's somebody on Twitter getting stuff started.
After one game and just coming off winning the Super Bowl, it makes a lot of sense.
Trubisky didn't make nobody. Allen Robinson made Trubisky.
Put that down.
Damien. Mike Hughes says Robinson didn't even get the ball from Justin Fields. Dude is just ass laughing out loud. Yeah, I would be shocked because Matthew Stafford's played in the league for how long? You've never heard anything like that about. So, from according to what I'm reading right here on
It's just somebody running around
on this website, it says social media was accusing him of that. And I think that's just because it's probably some Rams fan that was mad that the Rams got beat.
Don't give a source or anything.
No, it just says social media.
Why do they even report that? The person should put their name out there.
Yeah, the only other players to receive targets was Daryl Henderson Jr. 5. Allen Robinson was thrown to twice. Stafford second favorite option was 11 targets was to Tyler Higbee. He threw 15 times to Cooper Kupp. Just that's to me.
I think he's going to throw to the open receiver. And,
Yeah.
I mean, and he's got a relationship with Kupp. Robinson's a new
A
receiver.
lot of football fans probably didn't think much of it, but there were many on Twitter who were quick to call out Matthew Stafford. But yeah, I don't even know why this website's reporting. This is just from tweets of people.
Okay.
Like
mad. Just fans mad because they lost. Basically.
Yeah. Said Allen Robinson wearing long sleeve trying to trick Stafford into thinking he's not black.
Oh God.
Stafford on why on it's Twitter fans it's just people on Twitter running their yeah. I don't put no truth.
No.
I don't put no I don't hold that.
Well, I didn't know where he.
No,
like
I said, I hadn't even heard that story. You said, I was like, man, but yeah. Like you, David. That's why Allen has been asked since Trubisky left, Damien. they're both Bear fans. So.
What do you think? I mean, think Fields is going to pan
out? I think so.
I mean, this last game is hard to judge whether.
Yeah, I think he's going to. I think he's going to have maybe a little bit of a rough year this year, still learning. But I think he's going to end up being a good quarterback. I think.
Who's the they maybe will tell us. I honestly don't know. Who's the Bears' main receiver
now? I'm not. I'd have to look it up. To be honest with you.
Guys, help us out there.
I think who.
I really don't know. I know they got a good running back. I know
yeah.
That's a good back.
I have Montgomery on my fantasy team. Let's see if I got Pringle, Daryl Mooney,
and Sneeden.
Yep. St. Brown.
I think Moody may be the guy supposed to.
Yep.
St. Brown was with Detroit at one time.
He was with the Green Bay at one time as well. Dante Pettis. It don't say.
So he's got a lot of young.
Yeah, that's some young.
I don't know who the true number one out of that. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not a big name there that way.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Like I said, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the Bears, so I'm not 100% sure.
The Bears got to feel.
Well, here
Bears got to feel good getting that first win. Probably a win they probably didn't think they could get. I mean, San Francisco was probably a favorite in that game.
Yeah, they were they were favored, but to me they should. I don't know if you should have been with Lance at quarterback because you really didn't know what you had there.
I don't know if you still know what you got with Fields either. Yeah, I agree. Fields played at a bigger level.
At least you've seen Fields and you've seen Fields play some last year.
And pro too had some experience too.
Where you had, you hadn't seen Lance. You hadn't played for so long.
I don't understand. I don't understand why team.
The Bears' leading receiver last game was Pettis.
You agree with this? I think the Bears. And I'm not putting Trubisky down because I think Trubisky is a quarterback in the NFL. I'm not putting him down at all. But I think he was drafted way too high.
Oh yeah, they could have had Mahomes.
Another example, I think the guy from San Francisco drafted way too high. Green Bay drafted way too high. I don't understand the teams taking that big a risk and paying all that money because Love wasn't going to go in the first round.
I don't think he would.
Do you think Trubisky would have went in the first round? Anybody?
He might have went in the first round.
I thought it was going to be early second. I thought. I really did.
If he went in the first round, I thought it would have been later. I didn't think he would have got what he went. And I mean, it's easy to say now because we've seen what Mahomes has turned into. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Trubisky's going to be. I think Trubisky could be a starting quarterback in this league, and not just a starting quarterback.
He put up some good numbers there in Chicago.
I like Trubisky
at times. It just I think a lot of that was Matt Nagy. I think Matt Nagy's terrible.
I wouldn't be mad if the coach had a Trubisky. I wouldn't be mad at that because he's young. For one thing.
Yeah. Actually, their leading rusher last week was Herbert.
Really?
He had 9 carries for 45 yards. Pettis had 1 reception for 51 yards, and he was the leading receiver. Fields was 8 for 17 for 121 yards with 2 touchdowns.
They didn't do a lot of throwing.
No, because
weather.
Yeah, with that much, so it's hard to tell there. Green Bay has a lot of people on the injury list here, so they need their 2 tackles back, or the offensive lineman back, but they're both questionable. Lazard's questionable again. They need him back. But yeah, the Bears. It's hard to tell how good the Fields is going to be in the Bears because he's in the damn monsoon.
Yeah.
I know Mike was talking about his basement being flooded there in Chicago. No, the Colts. I think we just got to keep running the ball. I still do think we need to get Himes more involved. Even if it's putting him out as a receiver, he can be a weapon out there because if he gets an open field, the dude can be gone.
Receiver I like, young receiver that I like. Yeah, I think he was thrown to 2 times and he caught him. I don't know how to pronounce. I say Stroud, but whatever his name.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Stroud or Strachan or how you
pronounce
it.
But yeah. I like the fact he's about 6'4", 6'5". I like to see him go to him a little bit more.
Doolin made some tough catches, but then he dropped a wide open one.
Easy one.
It's like, dude, how did you catch some other ones and you don't catch that one? And I'd like to see him get Paris Campbell more involved. He made a couple big plays when they got the ball to him. I think he could be a big play guy for us with his speed, especially if he stays healthy. But you got to get him. I'd like to see them get him a little bit more involved in the offense. I mean, he's a guy you can move around. You can have him at slot, move him up the receiver.
I know he's been on the team 3 years, but he's basically a rookie. No more playing time
he's had. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can move him to different spots. He's one of them guys. Yeah. You can play him at slot. You can play him, and he can be a guy that can stretch the field for the Colts because he's faster than hell. So he can be a guy that can stretch the field. I think he could really help our offense, especially with our receiving core being so young. But if I'm the Colts, I'd be looking for a receiver. I'd be seeing if you can get OBJ for a cheap deal. He's still out there. I would see what's out there and see if you can add somebody to maybe help you a little bit on that receiving side.
I don't know if they'll
do it. And that's the thing that makes me mad about the Colts because all you hear about every offseason how much salary cap space the Colts have. So they'll be able to do this, and then they don't do nothing. It's like we have all this salary cap room, and we don't use it to our advantage to pick up somebody that can help us.
I agree.
And I like Ballard. I think Ballard's done a good job building the team.
He's done a good job.
But now it's getting to the point, hey, you build it to this level. We got to get to another level. We should be getting in the playoffs and competing.
Bottom line, some receivers got to step up.
And
because Pittman, I firmly believe he's a number 1 receiver, but he's got to have some help.
Yeah. And Pittman had a hell of a game last week. I mean, you couldn't put that on Pittman at all.
He went from 40 catches to 80 catches, first year to second year. He could be in 110, 120 catches this year if he has some help. If you don't have any help, he's not going to be able to get better.
And the offensive line has to play a little better too. Our offensive line didn't
on the
pass did not play great over last Sunday. They done pretty good. We was able to run the ball pretty good.
Pretty good. They got knocked back in the backfield a few times.
Yeah, but we could. Our pass protection wasn't great at all.
No, it wasn't.
I think, I'm telling you, if this season goes the wrong way, I think Frank Reich is probably gone. I think Irsay's frustrated. I think last year he took his frustration out on Wentz. I think if it don't work this year, he's going to take his frustration out on Reich because I I think he let Wright pick his last two he let Wright pick the last two quarterbacks in Rivers and then in Wentz. You know, what I mean, Reich had a big input in them two because Reich had worked with both them guys, and then neither one of them worked out. Well, Rivers, we should have won that playoff game against the Bills. That was coaching, not not turning down field goals. But
whenever we get opportunity for points,
especially because we're not an offense at this point. We don't have the weapons on offense where we don't have the weapons on offense right now. Well, we're going to make a big plays and have a probably high scoring games. We our formula for winning is run the ball. When you get chances to score points, score and play good defense. And that's how the Colts are going to have to win games until we get some more weapons. We're not going to win shootout. We don't have that. We just don't have that kind of talent on the offensive side of the ball right now. To be honest, I hate to say that, but we just don't.
This is a big game because we Kansas City. Kansas City.
Yeah,
Kansas City
next week.
Yep.
Yeah, we have because that's because that's what Greg had missed me about. I'm gonna be on the Red Kingdom show next Saturday at 2:00. Previewing the Chiefs and the Colts. He's a big Chiefs guy. Has a Chiefs show called Red Kingdom. It's on the ASAP Sports Network. Go check it out. Greg's a great guy. He does the afternoon blitz with me sometimes as well. He hadn't been on there as much here lately because he just had a kid a couple weeks ago, so he's going to start getting back on there more. I understand that. You got to get in a whole new routine when you have a kid. He goes, man, it's like having another full-time job. I said, yep. And I said, yeah. I said, look, it's hard for me to believe my son's already 22. They grow up quick. Enjoy it. Yeah, you better enjoy it while they're little. I miss those days, but I think Wright's on the hot seat, and I think Ballard might get one more year. If this don't go right, I think Ballard might get one more year to try to get a coach bring in another coach. But sometimes when you get new coaches, they I mean, look what Polian did with Caldwell and Polian that year. Got rid of both of them. And honestly, I didn't think Caldwell deserved to get rid of or Polian. It was it was kind of Polian's fault for not having a backup. But when you have Peyton Manning, you usually don't worry about the backup because Peyton took all the snaps. But I mean, you lose one of the best quarterbacks to play the game because of neck injury. You're going to have a bad season. I mean, hell, then they bring in Orlovsky and almost blow getting to get Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
No, they were trying to lose games. Orlovsky out there trying to win.
Yep.
He's a guy that I think was a little underrated. He was better than what people gave him credit for.
Wow, he's done good.
Oh, he does great.
Yeah, he's real good.
Oh yeah, he's to me he's one of the best that they have on the ESPN. I really like.
I like it a lot too.
Oh, Damien, I would love the Colts to bring back Dungy, but Dungy ain't gonna come back coaching. I wish Dungy would have never left. I wish Dungy would have stayed a few more years. I think we'd had a couple more Super Bowls. And nothing against Caldwell because I think Caldwell's a good coach.
I do too. I like Caldwell.
We lost that Super Bowl with him, but that was just they pulled out a surprise play with that onside kick, and we can never get the momentum back after that. And a big factor in that game people don't talk about enough is Dwight Freeney. He had that ankle injury. Nobody they didn't know if he would play, and they gave him a shot or whatever. And he played in that first half and looked good. In the second half, he couldn't. He couldn't even hardly walk, so he couldn't hardly play, and that hurt the Colts. No momentum shifted in that game.
Yeah.
Caldwell got the wrong. I thought he got a wrong deal with the Colts when they fired him because it wasn't his fault. We had that bad year, but even got a roller deal with the Lions. When you finally get the Lions to a winning record, and then they fire you to bring in Matt Patricia. That didn't make no damn sense at all.
Look where that went.
Because them guys were playing hard for Caldwell. He had turned it around. He should have got at least a couple more years the way he was doing with the Giants or the Lions. That made no sense.
I really like Caldwell.
And I'm surprised he hadn't got a coaching job somewhere else. If he wants one. I don't even know if he wants a coaching job, but if he wants one, I'm surprised. And maybe people have called him and asked, talk to him about it. Maybe he don't want to be. I don't know. Yeah. But you haven't really heard his name out there. That's just like Lovie Smith. A lot of people heard some bad things about him, but I'll tell you what, hey, he has that Houston team playing hard.
Well, I know a lot of people they went to Illinois and he didn't turn it around.
College is different.
College is different. Also, man, you got to be able to recruit, and Illinois is kind of like IU. I mean, you're in the bottom of half
Yeah.
of the league, and now it's even worse because there have been more teams in that's got bigger names. It's just hard to recruit, and
And also, I hate to say
you're going to turn it around in 2 or 3 years.
I hate to say it because I mean I live in Indiana. I root for all the Indiana teams. I like, you know what I mean. I don't have nothing against Indiana, but if you're a college student and you have the option of going to California or Indiana, where are you going to choose? You're going to choose where you don't have to worry about the weather.
If you're a real good football player, where you gonna go? IU or Ohio State?
Yeah,
I'm just being honest. You know, like I said, I have no. I'm an IU fan. IU's probably never going to get back to a national championship or anything.
Probably not in football. I think we might in basketball eventually.
Maybe, but not in football. So to me, my goal is to win enough games to
Get a
make a
bowl
bowl game, and they're doing good.
I was trying to point up to the jersey. I'm used to my other room. Ball State University here in Muncie. They're never going. I mean, they're never going to be in a national championship game or something. But if they can win the MAC or make a bowl game, hey, that's
7-8 games.
And I mean, and Ball State's had some good years. Wasn't too long ago we were in a big bowl game. And then that one year we went undefeated when we had Nate Davis and all them. Dante Love, who unfortunately got hurt, or he'd probably be a star in the NFL right now. That dude was bad.
Yeah, he'd have made it in the NFL.
And we were there when he got hurt.
It's tough to college. They don't want to give you enough time to turn stuff around, but you go to a terrible program and they think you're going to turn around 2 or 3 years. That's almost impossible.
And then like at these MAC schools, they're even in a tougher situation because if you do find a good coach that turns your program around, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose them a year after that to one of these bigger colleges, and you got to start all over.
It's a lot easier to turn things around at a school like USC, Texas, like that, because they get pretty good talent. Yep. So if you come in there with the right system and everything, you can turn things in a year or 2 years. A school like IU, Illinois, it's going to take a lot longer.
And then you deal with that a little bit in the NFL. You'll have guys that don't want to go to certain teams; they want to live in certain areas. But it's not like college where you're out recruiting whoever does the best, whoever can, can offer the best gets it. NFL, you got the draft, and there's stuff that stuff. But man,
one thing about the Big Ten though is Big Ten, even schools, Wisconsin, IU, Illinois, all them schools, Wisconsin, all of them schools, quite a few players. A lot of Big Ten players go to the NFL, so just getting into the Big Ten is a big thing.
Especially at some of the linemen.
Illinois, Northwestern, IU, all get players to go to.
Well, I mean, even some of like Ball State, they do pretty good getting guys to the NFL for a MAC school.
They do offensive or defensive linemen. You don't get a lot of receivers.
We had a couple kickers.
Yeah.
I mean, we got an offensive lineman that's starting for the Colts now. That Pinter that played at Ball State. No, man, the Colts have to. I don't know. We got to play better this week. You can't lose. You can't lose to Jacksonville. You can't start 1-1 especially in your division. You can't start 1-1 in your division. But this, to me, like I said, this is a big game. I look for the Colts to play better. I hope, like I said, it sucks Pierce ain't playing because I think he needed a bounce back game, get that memory out. This is another game on the road, isn't it? Yeah. Our home openers against the Chiefs. Yeah, we need this game because the Chiefs going to be a tough game just because our defense got to play their ass off against the Chiefs. Because I hate to say it, but I don't see our offense keeping up with the Chiefs' offense. Especially we get in a shootout.
Run the ball. That's key. If we can run the ball,
run the ball.
If you run the ball and you keep Mahomes off the field, keep up time.
That's the thing. Like last night, the Chargers had the time of possession. If you look at the box score, you'd have thought Chargers won that game. But it was that one mistake. Well, not that one mistake. That pick six what really killed him. But
what was the score when the pick six
was tied?
The game's tied. So So they were close to scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
So let's say
They were getting ready to go in to take the lead, and instead,
so let's say they score a touchdown. They're up 7. How much time left? That was probably in the
there was
fourth
probably
quarter.
about 6, 7 minutes left.
Game could have been completely different.
That's what I'm saying. They were going in to get points. They were going. They were going to at least get a field goal,
So
probably.
yeah, at least field goal. But let's say they score a touchdown. So when they score a touchdown, they didn't. See, they it's a 99-yard defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
They scored on. So now when they're going to have to move the ball, which they like you said, the defense, San Diego's defense did a pretty decent job.
Or yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're
Or not San Diego, excuse me.
The Chargers offense outscored the Chiefs offense. It was that one play, and they were going in, and then not just that. There was at least 3 balls that Mahomes threw that should have been picked. I mean, right to Chargers guy, and they dropped it. Well, one he caught real close to the ground, looked like he got his hand in it. The ball might have moved a little bit. They ended up overturning it and called it non-interception. To me, there wasn't enough there to overturn it. They should have let it stand. Whatever. Now, if it had been called incomplete on the field, I would have let you know. What I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it was that close where it'd been hard to overturn it either way. But they ended up overturning that one. But then there was 2 other ones that that should have been interceptions that just got knocked down. And against a guy like Mahomes, you got to make those interceptions. You can't just knock them down. You got to catch that ball, and that really would have changed the game. No, I'm looking forward to this Sunday. Hopefully, the Colts can get a big win. Like I said, we'll be live. I think the game's at 1.
Yeah,
we'll be live maybe right around 1:00 for Sunday's game against the Jaguars. We'll be doing kind of like play-by-play and our reaction and stuff. Answering people's questions, just having a good time watching some football. We had quite a few people watch last week. We had fun doing it, so we're going to do that. Also, tomorrow we'll be covering the fights. We'll be doing a watch along for UFC and for the Canelo and Triple G pay-per-view boxing tomorrow night. We'll probably start around 8:00, so around there. So be on the lookout for that. Join me and the judge tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk last night's game. We'll talk some college football, some NFL coming up this weekend.
what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go the Colts 28-24.
Close 24-17.
28-24. Man, I'd like to see them win by more than that, but just our offense scares me a little bit after last week dropping some balls. I think if we can clean up some of those mistakes, though, I think we'll be fine. We got to stop the run against Jacksonville. They got a pretty decent running back. Yeah, I think Lawrence is going to end up being a good pro quarterback.
I think
I really think he's going to have a better year this year than he did last year with Peterson. What in the hell kind of punt was that? Whoever that was ain't going to have a job no more. I think that punt went 10 yards before it went out of bounds. Looked like something Blankenship was doing this weekend with his damn kickoff. And again, I know it's not Colts related, but game I'm looking forward to. It's right there. I think it's going to be a good, fun game to watch. Is that Panthers and Giants game? I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. See if the Giants can get off to a 2-0 start in the East. That really burn the Cowboys fans up.
Oh,
man.
yeah, would.
Especially if the Cowboys lose to the Bengals and the Giants.
Especially one named Jay. Because the Giants, Jones sucks. So we said the Giants would be okay. And yeah, he was here. Yeah, he was like that.
He was all over. He was all over Herbert today.
Yeah.
I'm sure that one play Herbert did. He made a decision not to run, but you could tell he couldn't hardly move. He started to run, and he could have got the first down probably. Yeah. He tried to throw the ball, and of course he threw the ball. It wasn't a good throw. But then he came back and ripped one over like a 30-yard pass over the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah, so that didn't make a difference
anyway. Yeah, he got the first down anyway, but you could tell because even when it happened, like, man, he could have got that first down if he ran. But you could tell he started to run, and then he got pain, and he kind of stopped, and he tried to get rid of it. Damien says he's going to be mad if at the end balls out this Sunday after he cut him from his fantasy league. I don't think Etienne's going to ball out too much this week. I think Colts are going to be able to stop that run. We've done a pretty good job stopping Houston from running the ball. We've done pretty good against the run, so hopefully we can do the same thing against. But at the end, or however you say his name, he's a good running back.
Yeah.
And he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. You got to be on. You got to watch that. Peterson likes to throw in a few trick plays in here and there, so you got to be ready for those. But if anybody knows Peterson, it's going to be Frank Reich, because Frank Reich was with Peterson for a few years there in Philadelphia. So I mean, they know each other pretty well. So I think it's going to be a fun game this Sunday. Like I said, join us at 1:00 for watch along and live reaction. Anything else I forgot about?
No, I don't think so.
Then join us Monday at 6:00. We'll recap what happens on Sunday here for Horseshoe Talk.
Hopefully, the Colts win.
Hopefully we're coming back in a good mood on Monday with a win. Nice to get a first win of the season. Maybe build a little momentum going into that Chiefs game next week for the home opener. Because Lucas Oil Stadium the roof's going to be blowing off that place for the home opener.
We don't want to go 0-1-1
going into the Chiefs game. But Lucas Oil is going to be rocking for that home opener. If we can go in there with some momentum and that defense gets the stopping the run or stopping that offense, at least owning to some field goals. I mean, we've done it before. A couple years ago, nobody thought the Colts would be the Chiefs, and we went down there. We shut their offense down, and we was able to run the ball.
San Diego did. I mean, LA Chargers did what they needed to do. I mean, they kept Kelsey out of the end zone. I mean, they almost a perfect game.
They just make
a couple of mistakes. And that's the thing. You make a couple of mistakes, and that's one thing about Mahomes. More times, not every time, but more times than not, he's going to make.
Well, you don't get them interception. You give him a second chance. He's going to cash it in most of the time. And that's not just Mahomes. A lot of quarterbacks do that, but he does it at a high level.
And then if you let Kansas City's defense make a big play like that, that even hurts more because they ain't got enough weapons already.
Yeah. That dude was gone. He caught that ball and he was gone.
Which I don't think Kansas City is going to have as good as offense. I really don't. Well, not being that's my opinion. We'll see. Their receivers may get better as the year goes along. Houston didn't do much at all.
No, yeah. It's going to be their offense. I mean, it definitely looked a lot different. It didn't look as explosive as it had been. But some of that could be that Chargers defense too. Because that Chargers defense, I'm telling you, with additions of Khalil Mack and that J.C. Jackson. I mean, that
San Diego's got a good defense. This is done better.
Los Angeles.
Man, I can't get away from San Diego. They San Diego Chargers my whole life. I'm gonna keep calling them San Diego. I don't give a damn. Like the Raiders. Oakland.
Since we're here together now, I'm going to have to change that horseshoe to blue because usually I would use that blue background. I'll keep it white. I want to change it since we're on the same wood here. Well, if somebody else gets on, then it won't be like that. But Tony, this must have been the weekend that his girlfriend was in town. He didn't get on today. I know he said on some weekends when she's there, he spends that time with her, so he's going to get in trouble. All right, you got anything else before we go ahead and get out of here for tonight?
Go Colts.
Go Colts. Let's get a big win on Sunday.
Well, IU plays
join us
Western Kentucky tomorrow.
Like I said, join us tonight for Gonzo and the Judge at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room, and YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the All Sports All Plays Network. Like I said, we'll be doing live watch along tomorrow for the UFC fight night. Sandhagen against Song Yadong. And then also we're going to cover the Triple G and Canelo fight tomorrow night. And then on Sunday we have the Colts watch along at 1:00. And then the weekend after that we'll do the Colts and the Chiefs, and then we have some pro wrestling. Then we're gonna have like 3 weeks straight with some independent pro wrestling that will be streaming live. One of the shows will have WWE Hall of Famer, hardcore legend Mick Foley, also known as Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love. Yep. One of the best to ever do it. I mean, you got to put him right up there with a lot of the guys. Just all the characters he was able to get over, and the crazy shit he would do to get himself over. He's been one of my favorites to watch.
Yeah.
And I can't. It's going to be awesome to actually get to meet him. On here on October 1st. Also, WWE legend, the Boogeyman will be there.
Yep.
We got to see him last year around this time of year, and it was awesome. He puts on a great show. He's great with the crowd, and the crowd loves it. And then there's some a lot of good matches on that card. I'm not going to announce the matches until they put them up. But it's going to be a great show there at the Jay County Fairgrounds.
I think it's going to be a great show.
If you haven't got tickets yet, you can get them at Jay County Fairgrounds website. Go on there.
If
you need help getting a ticket, if you can't find it on that website, get a hold of us. Get a hold of me. We'll and I can get you in contact with the right people to get you for you to get a ticket. I do know that the tickets go up in price at the door. I saw that they're having to go up $5 at the door. So it's cheaper if you go ahead and get your ticket now. Plus, who knows how many tickets will be left at the door, if any.
I don't think there's any front row left. I think
I
there's
know
some tables left. Maybe.
I know, like 3 or 4 days, like 3 days ago, I think there was like 3 VIP tables left now. And I don't know about front row. He didn't mention front row, so I'd say it's probably sold out.
Second and third row was.
Yes.
25, and then all out of the general admission of $50. Yeah, that's a good price.
Like I said, they're $5 more at the door,
yeah,
and there's no guarantee there's going to be any tickets at the door. Because once all the tickets are sold, that's it, right?
There's a limited venue.
So it's going to be an awesome show. You don't want to miss it. Then we have Warrior Pro Wrestling, their big anniversary show,
September 20th.
Yeah, that's next Sunday. So actually, we got Wrestle next Sunday.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I forgot. So we won't be doing a watch along for the Colts and Chiefs that Sunday. I lied there. We will be watching the Colts game. Yeah. We'll have it on there. Well, Buck will probably have it on there on the big screen until the doors open. Yeah. But no, we'll be keeping track of it. We won't be doing a watch along on that game because we'll be doing live wrestling show. I forgot that's next Sunday. So yeah, we got Warrior Pro next Sunday. I'll be making graphics for that. I'll probably air last month's show one night this week, like we have been doing before that. So be on the lookout for graphics for that.
Probably have maybe some watch along, maybe next Friday. We'll have some information about that. There's some wrestling pay-per-view boxing. Make a decision to put something out on that.
Yeah,
next Friday.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here for Horseshoe Talk. We will see you guys on Monday for another episode of Horseshoe Talk. Like I said, come join us tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Time for Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and go Colt.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.